Hi there, I'm Nancy Nash with Starfish Strength. Today, I want to teach you 3 great leg exercises that will increase your overall strength, power, and improve your balance. For our workout today, you'll want a pair of dumbbells or cans, and an exercise mat, and enough space to make a standing snow angel. And don't forget to have some water handy too. For this first exercise, we're going to do a bear crawl to a downward facing dog. So I'm going to come onto all fours. I want to position my wrists right underneath my shoulders and my knees right underneath my hips. So I'm going to start by drawing my belly in. I'm going to squeeze my glute muscles, tuck my toes under, and push through each fingertip to push myself into a downward dog position. From there, I'm going to slowly start to bend my knees, shift my weight into my arms, and come back, if you can, to hover the knees right above the floor. The whole time, I'm going to try to keep my hips, knees, and ankles in a nice straight alignment with one another. So we're going to go back and forth here. This is definitely a whole body exercise, but you should really feel this in the calves, in the quads, in the glutes. Make sure that as you push yourself into your down dog, you initiate that by drawing the belly in and squeezing the glutes, and then engage your calves and your quads and your arms to help with that. Think about shifting your hips forward and back. So as I go into down dog, I'm going to shift my hips back over my ankles. And then as I shift my weight forward, think about initiating with the hips again. So I'm going to move my hips forward, bring my weight into my arms, and slowly descend. You need to touch your knees down each time. Feel free to do so. You could always put a towel underneath your knees just to give yourself a softer landing, or you could put a bigger cushion underneath your knees, and then that will make sure that if you're feeling a little less strong in the upper body, that landing continues to be soft. So take whatever modification you need. Remember, this is your workout. If you are diligent with this, you will get stronger in no time. Great work. Give yourself one more if you're up for it, and then slowly let yourself come up to your knees. Great job. Our next exercise is a matrix lunge, or a 3-directional lunge. So we're going to combine a forward lunge, a side lunge, and a rear lunge. So I'm going to start with my dumbbell, my can, or my hands at my chest height. I'm going to draw my belly in and step forward, landing on the middle of the foot. And step to the side, power myself back, and then do a rear lunge, keeping my weight on that front leg. The entirety of this exercise, I want to make sure that I keep my hips, knees, and ankles in good alignment. I'm going to step forward about 2 to 3 of my own foot lengths. And as I step to the side, I want to make sure that my hip can line up right over my ankle. Those joints should be stacked so that we have no joint pain. And then when I do my rear lunge, I'm going to keep my weight on my front foot and use the back foot like a kickstand. So that front foot is going to help me power that back leg back to center. So keep drawing in the abs before you step forward. If you can, see if you can draw the abs in and get the quads, the thigh muscles, the glutes, the butt muscles to all fire at once. So you want a powerful push back to center. And as much as I can, I'm going to try to return my feet to the same spot. I know that's tricky. It doesn't have to be perfect. Feel free to take as many breaks as you need to. This is a tricky exercise. All right, go ahead and let yourself shake out the hips, and we're going to move on to our other leg. So again, I'm going to draw the belly in, squeeze the thigh and the glutes, and land on the ball of the foot as I step forward. Stepping to the side, I want to make sure I land on the ball of the foot and I line up the hip, knee, and ankle and push powerfully through that leg to come back to center. As I lunge back, I'm going to keep my weight on the forward leg and just use that back leg like a kickstand. Now, over time, we do want to see that we can get the knees into a 90-degree angle. So you might have to play with the length of your lunges a little bit. And depending on the day, this could feel very different on one side versus the other. So try to meet yourself where you're at. And if you are finding that this is just too difficult right now to get down low, just practice your balance, taking those 3 steps, trying to land on the ball of the foot. Power yourself back to center, and then let yourself step back and keep your weight on the front leg. And then use that leg to step yourself back to center. So even practicing that muscle engagement with that weight shift over time as your muscles get stronger, you will find that you can do this deeper. So meet yourself where you're at and just do what feels good to you today. Great job. Go ahead and grab some water and we're going to do one more exercise. For our last exercise today, we're going to do a single leg deadlift. So go ahead and grab both of your dumbbells or cans. So I'm going to come into a hip width stance so that the ankles are lined up with the hip sockets. And before we go straight into doing these single leg, I'm going to have us do a couple with both legs just so that you can get the form down. So I'm going to draw my belly in, push my hips back, keep my shoulders back, and then drive through the balls of the feet to come up. So I should feel like my glutes are working. I should feel a lot in the back of my thighs, and I should feel this in my abs and the middle of my back. So bringing this into a single leg deadlift, I want to do the same mechanics, but now I'm going to float one of my feet. So rather than thinking about kicking with your leg, just think about what the standing leg is doing. I'm going to balance between both sides of the ball of my foot and my heel, draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and then push the hips back. And as soon as I feel like I'm going to lose my balance, I'm going to push through the ball of that foot and come back to center. And the whole entire time, again, I know I'm going to sound like a broken record, I'm going to keep the ankles, knees, and hips in line to protect the joints. So let's try that again and just make sure that you're not letting the shoulders hunch forward. That's a really common compensation. So I'm going to draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, push the hips back, and then drive through the balls of the feet to come up. So remember, this is a leg workout. This is a leg-driven exercise. So I'm not pulling with the arms. I'm pushing with the legs. Now, this can be really fatiguing, not just in the leg, but also in the foot. So seriously, they don't all have to be perfect. Take as many breaks as you need to. If you're diligent with this, you'll notice that this is also a great core workout. You're really working your abs and the middle of your back. You're working your shoulders to hold the weights in place. The arms are just like a lever here. They're not reaching at all. So see if you can give yourself 1 or 2 more with really good balance. Nice work. Grab some water if you need to. Go ahead and let yourself shake out the hips, and we're going to switch and do this on the other side. So again, I'm going to start with that hip width stance, and I'm going to draw the belly in, squeeze the glutes, and slightly lift one foot off the floor as I push my hips back. So I'm mostly keeping my shoulders level. They might be a little bit off, but I'm trying to. I'm mostly keeping my hips level. Again, they might be a little bit off, but the more balanced you can keep this, the easier it's going to be to execute this with more weight and to add more reps. You can take longer rest breaks. Remember, this is your workout. We're trying to build strength and power, so there is no rush. We're not trying to build momentum. So in that lowering phase, as I'm pushing the hips back and the leg raises behind me, that part can be a lot slower. And then I want to really drive through the ball of my foot to bring myself all the way back up so that my shoulders are stacked on top of my hips and my hips are on top of my ankles. That's the power part, the pushing through the ball of the foot. So keep thinking about initiating this movement at the hip, pushing the hip back, squeezing the glutes, and then pushing through the ball of the feet to come back up. Now, some people do these straight leg. I'm not. I'm actually letting the knee bend so that I can generate that power, and I can really feel this in the calves as well. But the point at which I want to let the knee bend is the point at which I can no longer push the hip back. So find that for yourself. It might be different on the left side versus the right side. It will get better over time. You'll notice that you have a greater range of motion. You have greater power in all of the muscle groups that we're training. So remember, this is a leg-driven exercise. And if you don't feel this in the back of the thighs, the hamstrings today, you definitely will tomorrow. All right, let yourself try one more if you've got it in you. Nice work. Awesome job. If you're feeling sore or tight later, make sure you check out one of my stretching videos so you can come back into your next workout feeling fantastic. Thank you so much for making time to exercise with me today. I hope you feel better set up with some new exercises to bring into your workout routine. If you're looking for more specific help with exercise programming or nutrition, please feel free to reach out to me for a consultation in the link in the description. And if you're looking for more workouts, exercises, healthy lifestyle tips, and healthy recipes, please check out the rest of my YouTube channel. In the meantime, I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.
Hi, can you help me?
Bye. One more.